I've said a lot yesterday, so I'll try to keep it brief today. I've heard the previous speakers, and I have to comment on something that I think it's important. It's not about right and wrong. We know what's right, and we know what's wrong. And it's not about respect of international law. This is a weak point. Nobody respects international law, beginning from the aggressor, Netanyahu, Putin, Trump. Who respects international law? We have the power, so we do whatever we like. And we do not have to respond to criticism. International law cannot be implemented. It has to be respected. So, this is a great weakness. And then, when it comes to the United Nations and the resolutions, we've been fighting for 52 years. They've been fighting, the Palestinians, much longer. We have the United Nations resolutions. We read them, we show them, we remember them. But again, we cannot implement them. And there are not people who would stand by our sides in order to do so. United Nations credibility has been undermined by the major players of this world. And I want to say that this is why the Nordic Initiative matters, because it can help shift the discussion from what is politically convenient to what is necessary for peace, but only if it delivers concrete commitments, a ceasefire, because I do not consider that what we have today is a ceasefire. Right. They keep killing Palestinians. Exactly. They have killed about 500 Palestinians since we've referred to ceasefire. Okay, so this is not a ceasefire, this is not peace. And this is not a protection roadmap for the Palestinians, what we have up to now. So, the Nordic Initiative can create a credible monitoring, a structured diplomacy with milestones, and support for reconstruction and coexistence that includes also civil society and women. Peace cannot anyone take peace for granted. Every day, without action towards this direction, is paid for by civilians, by children, by families who are trying to survive. We must start from basic truth that should unite everyone in this room. Civilians are not targets. Hostages are not bargaining chips. And international humanitarian law is not a matter of opinion. It is a binding obligation that must be respected by all. That is why we need an immediate solution. Sequence of short pauses that manage the crisis with the suffering continues. Humanitarian aid cannot function effectively. The destruction of homes, hospitals, schools, and basic infrastructure does not create security. I was watching the other day on TV some very, very disturbing, shocking images with children that had nowhere to sleep, children that had nothing to eat. I couldn't believe that humanity could stand this kind of images. And they all talk now about Iran, they all talk about Ukraine, and I don't listen to my colleagues, not the ones in this room, defending the rights, the rights of these children to grow in safety, and have education, have something to eat, have a bed to sleep, the basic things, the basic for any human being. Being a Cypriot, I speak with a special sensitivity about this issue. I understand division. I understand displacement and the long shadow that injustice casts over generations. If we want an accord that lasts, we must replace dehumanization with recognition, impunity and accountability, and endless emergency with a political process that has direction and deadlines. The two-state solution remains for Israel and Palestine the clearest internationally recognized framework. You cannot give up on that.
Yes.
No matter what Israel thinks, no matter what Netanyahu intends to do, you cannot give up on two-state solution. But it is being hollowed out on the ground. If we want two states tomorrow, we must protect the possibility today by ending actions that destroyed settlement expansion, forced displacement, collective punishment, and the denial of equal rights and movement, and by committing to a political horizon based on international law, the 1967 lines, and security and dignity for all people, with accountability for violations as part of the path to peace. If I'm optimistic about that, I'm not. I'm not, because I see the Prime Minister of Israel wanting more and more, wanting to get rid of his enemies, and the Palestinians are his enemies. Many people in the area are his enemies, and some states are giving in to his goals. So honestly, we have to raise our voices, but if I want to be realistic, I don't know how much this counts. But we still have to fight. We still have to insist. We cannot give up. If we give up, then the world as we know it today, it will end. Yeah. And we don't want to live in this world.
Yeah.